Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video, or live stream, I should say, concerning military aptitude test prep and Federal Aviation Administration test prep live. I'm here every week, normally from 9 to 11. And tonight I had some delays, so I did post a quick live video, saying that tonight's live stream would start at 9:30, and I hope you guys saw that. And if you are a subscriber of mine, it should have popped up on my video board. So without any further ado, if you are here in the room, I'd like you to tell me where you're located and the test that you are preparing for. Good job, Penland. Penland got a 57 on the SIFT. Thank you for your videos, and thank you for what you were doing. That's why we do it. Congratulations. I hope you get winged. And, while you're down at Fort Rucker, if you are having any issues or anything like that, or you need any tutoring assistance, I am available. So, just so you know that. A lot of people have a lot of issues with the aerodynamics and the meteorology. Navigation, not so much. Lorraine, how are you doing? How's the little one feeling? Hope she's getting better, feeling better. Let's see. Okay, so you guys know the drill. People that have been here, and a big congratulations to Penland for obtaining a 57 on the SIFT. And thank you for just saying thank you. That means a lot. Somebody emailed me today and was like, thanks for what you're doing. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. Yeah, so congratulations on that score. And, a lot of people think, 57, you failed. No, he did not fail. That is an outstanding score to receive, because it's not on a 100-point scale. And a lot of people don't realize that. I might post something, this guy got a 55. Oh, man, that's a sucky grade. It's not on a 100-point scale. So, yeah. Great job well done, and thanks for at least coming to the live stream, hitting the like button, and thanks. I mostly appreciate you for being a subscriber of mine. We just not recently, we've been over 2,000 for a little while, but did I put in my oh no, I didn't. Running my mouth. Okay, so that is the email that you will send your questions to. Again, I'm here every week. If you're taking the ASVAB, AFOQT, the SIFT, OAR, ASTBE, any Federal Aviation Administration test as far as pilots are concerned, I am here to answer your questions. This live stream is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can type in Keno Thomas in the search box, or you can go to my website, stemwithkeno.com, scroll down to the YouTube icon, double click it, Friday after 9 o'clock, and it will bring you to my YouTube channel here. So, my thing is, take advantage of it. And anybody that's in the Air Warriors forum, please tell them about my channel. You got your test prep book. You're coming across questions you don't understand. Bring it here. Let me help you figure it out. That's what I do every week. So, a ton of probability. Okay, so if people are asking, there was a ton on the math section. Okay, yeah, probability. Probability is really not that hard. It's just that people don't really understand how to execute probability problems, and I'll go into that in a minute. And while I'm waiting for questions, but probability is, basically it's kind of like fractional based or ratio based. Ratio fractions really like the same thing, But where's my little? I think I got rid of it. No, I did not. There it is. Okay, so basically, when you deal with probabilities, they're asking you, what is the likelihood or what is the chance of something happening? And like in some of my initial lessons, what I will go into is I will just say, okay, let's say you have a 6-sided die. And die is singular for dice, which is plural. All right. So we know that we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So how we have to look at this is we have to look at it as a fraction, and then we have to simplify it. But in the numerator, we have possibility events over the total number of possibilities. I'm just going to abbreviate possibilities, but POSS means possibilities. So they might ask you, what is the probability of rolling an even number? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 even numbers. Okay, a 2, a 4, a 6. So what is the probability of rolling an even number? All right. Well, the total events that could happen is that we're looking for is 3, because 1, 2, 3. We could either roll a 2, a 4, or a 6. All right. So that is 3 events. Over possibilities, how many sides could it land on? 6. All right. So some people would write it like that. Some people would write it like this: 3:6, 3 out of 6. But the thing is we have to reduce this fraction. All right. So if we simplify this fraction, it will come out to be 1/2. All right. So there's a 1 in 2 chance. 1 in 2 chance that you will roll an even number. All right. And if you guys understood that quick little demonstration, I'd like you to type clear. I know there's a delay. Alonzo, how are you? Okay. All right. Did you guys see my video about us starting at 9:30? That's another thing. How many people saw that video notice? Okay, cool. So yeah, if you're subscribed, if you're not subscribed, you wouldn't have saw it. But if you are subscribed, then it would have hit your, I guess, your watch list, I guess, as far as YouTube is concerned, if you are one of my subscribers. Okay. So it is 9:39 and we are here. Okay. So, all right, let me just go to my... Okay. Lorena sent in some questions. Okay. And I don't know, I guess I could type this in. Maybe I should put it on the other screen. So this way, I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, give me a second, folks. But basically the question is worded as such, or as so. A businesswoman spends 1/5 of her small company's gross income for office rent and 3/8 of the remainder for the company's income salaries. What part of her income does she spend for salaries? All right, fractions are pretty cool. They're pretty easy once you know how to work them. A lot of people, they freak out like, oh my God, fractions. Nah, it's really not that serious. All right. I'm going to type this in. And Penland, you are going to really need some, skyvector.com is a website I suggest for you to start looking at. Because you're going to have to learn how to navigate. And you're going to have questions. And you can bring those questions here. All right. So yeah, I wanted to just present this question to the room, and then I'll go into it. Oh, really? Okay, so you guys can all see the question. I typed it out. So a businesswoman spends 1/5 of her small company's gross income for rent and 3/8 of the remainder of the company's income for salaries. What part of her income does she spend for salaries? So our answers are 23 over 40, 3/10, 1/2, and 3/4. Okay, so everybody can see the question and you can see the answers. Now, let's get rid of you. Get you out of the way. Okay, so as I look at this, all right, what I would do, and this is just me personally, I would, when they don't give you specific numbers, I just like to use 100. I love to use 100. Because 100 is a nice workable number, and you can also see percentages. All right, so I would just use a raw number. Let's say her gross income for that she spends on her office on everything is $100. Now 1/5 of that is going to be for office rent. So I know that it's 20, but what I could do is I can multiply this by 1/5, not 1/5, and this is like a fraction. A fraction we multiply directly across. 100 times 1 is 100, and 1 times 5 is 5, and that's going to be equal to 20, like I said. So $20 is going to be dedicated to office rent, and then 3/8 of the remainder. So we have a remainder of 80 after we pay our rent. All right, and so 3/8 of that is going to be dedicated to company's income for salaries. All right, so I'm going to multiply 80 over 1 times 3 over 8. I'm going to get 240 over 8, which is going to be 30? $30. So $30 of that remainder of that money is going to be dedicated to income for salaries. And that's why I like working with the 100. All right. So as it looks to me, it seems to me 310, 1/2, it's not a half, 23 over 40. Let me just play with this for a minute, because sometimes you gotta look deep. All right, so 240 times 3/8, we got 240 over 8, which was 30. So that's like 1/3 almost. So I gotta see if 23 over 40 because that's like the weird guy. No, 23 over 40 is like 57%. 3/10 is my answer, because it's about 1/3. All right, and to confirm it, $30 out of 100. Let's look at that. $30 out of 100. What does that break down to fractionally? It breaks down to 3/10. Answer bravo. Lorraine, let me know if that's what you have in the back of the book, but I'm sure that's it. It can't be a half. And 23 over 40 is like a half. And 3/4 is 75%. So bravo's the only answer. Yes, it is 3/10. Okay, so Lorraine has confirmed that that is correct answer. I knew it would be. In my teacher voice, I knew it would be it. Okay. This is interesting. And this is probably something that would wind up on the SIFT. All right. I'm gonna verbally just go through this because and diagram it so you guys can see it. I think that might go a little bit quicker. Right, they did 4.5 times 3/10, 4/5 times 3/10, 120, 3/10. Okay, that's fine. But me, I like to work with hard numbers because numbers don't lie. When you're just working with the fractions, you're kind of just shooting in the dark, and it, that can be a problem. So this is what I give to you guys. So this way, when you walk away from that test, you know you nailed that question. And that's why I do it that way. Okay, so a man, he leaves $72,000 in his will to his wife and son. All right, so $72,000 is going to his wife and his son. The ratio of the wife's share to the son's share was 5-3. How much did his wife receive? Okay. Now, what I would do is, and our answers are $27,000, $14,000, $45,000, and $54,000. I can already see that it's $54,000 just by looking at it. I'm sorry, I do a lot of math and I can see it already. But now I have to show you guys how to break it down. So this guy left $72,000 to his wife. All right. So what we do is we take both of their shares and we add them. We're going to get an 8 because 5 plus 3 is 8. After that, we're going to divide $72,000 because when you think about it, this 72 grand is going to be divided into 8 parts. It's going to be divided into 8 parts. So that's why I just add these up, divide by this, and then we're going to have $9,000 per part. Okay, so you break down the part, how this 72 grand is going to be allocated, and then you just multiply by the ratio numbers. So the wife is going to get $45,000. Oh, C, that's what I meant. If I didn't say it, because I think I might have been looking at D and my head got the numbers jacked up. All right. And then the son is going to get $27,000. Okay. If we add these two up, $45,000 plus $27,000, it's going to equal to $72,000. But when you're working with ratios, you add the number, find out the total number of parts, and then divide this by those two number of parts. And then this is the unit part. So each one represents $9,000. So 9,000 times 5 is 45. 9,000 times 3 is $27,000. So the wife is going to get $45,000, answer C, and the son is going to get $27,000, which that is not one of the answers because that's not what they're asking for. So Lorraine, I need you to fact check me. Charlie is the answer. And we'll wait. I understand that there is a delay. Oh, you said clear. Was that the right answer? I'm sure you got the way I did it, but was that the right answer? Answer's $45,000. Now, does everybody else in the room understand how I executed that problem? And you can indicate that by saying clear. All right, Alonzo. Leon, good to see you. Leon. And Lorraine, I know you got it. Okay. Keep sending those questions. Alrighty. Come back. Okay. Next question. And if you didn't get that, if I erased it too fast, this is DVR, so you can go back and you can watch it later. You can pause it as you go along. Okay. This next one. A recipe calls for 2.5 ounces of chocolate and 1/2 cup of corn syrup. If only 2 ounces of chocolate are available, how much corn syrup should be used? All right, and this is just basically we can make this a proportion. You can call it a ratio, whatever. All right, but you have a baseline, okay? And what they're telling you is we need 2. Man, why's my dry erase marker? Garbage. That's okay, because I stay strapped with dry erase markers. I stay strapped, son. Okay. So 2.5 ounces. Yeah, that's much better. 2.5 ounces and 1/2 cup of corn syrup. All right. Now, if we only have 2 ounces of chocolate, how much corn syrup is supposed to be used? Our answers are, let me zoom out. I got 1/2 cup, 1/3 of a cup, 2/5 of a cup, and 3/10 of a cup. All right. So here's the X. So they're saying a ratio, and this is your baseline. All right. This is your standard or your baseline. All right. And when we put it in proportion form, it should work out. But I wouldn't use 2.5. I would use 2.5 because 0.5 is 1/2. And I would use 0.5 instead of 1/2 for the cups because I just like working with the hard numbers instead of fractions. Much easier to deal with. And then I can convert them back if need be. All right. Okay. So when we set this up in proportion form, this number times this number divided by this number will give us this. I'll say it one more time. This number times this number divided by this number will give us this number, because this times this equals this times this. Is everybody good with that? Just type clear. I'll get back to you guys. So when I multiply 2 ounces by 0.5, the decimal would be there, but since we have this here, we have to move this decimal over 1 and move this decimal over 1. All right, so our answer is going to be 4. And that makes sense because 4 halves make, 2 times a half a cup. Hold on, I'm losing myself here. 2 times 0.5. See, and that happens. 2 times 0.5 is 1. And is there 2.5 cups there? No. Wow. Okay. Something weird going on here, folks. Ounces to cups, ounces to cups. How much corn syrup should be used? 2.5 ounces, 1/2 cup of corn syrup. We're going to use 2. Okay. So 2 times 0.5 is 1.0, or 1, divided by, oh, duh. All right, so 1.0 divided by 2.5. Yeah, you know, hey, I go off the reservation every now and then. Since the decimals there, we move over 1, move it over 1, raise it in our answer. 25 cannot go into 10, but 0.4 will be our answer because we'll add a 0, drop a 0. It'll come out to 125 goes into 104 times. So 0.4. All right. So 0.4 is closest to C, Charlie. 0.4 is 40%. 40%. Or if you look at the 2 over 5, we have a fraction. 2 over 5. 2 falls under the house. 5, 2.0, 0.4. So this fraction is equivalent of 0.4. 2.5 is equivalent of 0.4. Was that clear, guys? I'll wait for the delay. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with this, but you know, sometimes when you're looking at these math problems, sometimes you got to pull back. Maybe I might have jumped into the problem too fast, and I think that's what happened. So even I make mistakes too. I mean, I do tons and tons of math, but I make mistakes too. But I got to know when something's not looking right. Like when you're walking down the street, and you're like, yo, who's that strange guy over there? So it's just being aware. And if you're aware of the process of what you need to do, when something kind of goes off, you'll feel like something ain't right. So that prompted me to like come back and then go back in. All right. And a lot of guys would erase that, but I don't erase my little quirks, or if I kind of go in the wrong direction, because it demonstrates what you should do when you run into issues and, hey man, this is not adding up, man. This is not looking right. So, you know, I know a lot of guys, they edit a lot of their mistakes out. I don't edit any of my mistakes out. because I'm not perfect, and so, but I'm pretty darn close to it when it comes to math. No, I shouldn't say that, but all right, more questions. More questions. Oh, and check the back, Lorraine. Check the back of the book. Make sure that I am giving these guys amazing information. So that is the goal. Okay. Lorraine has confirmed that 2/5 is correct. All right. Da, 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 da. Okay. We had some people that could not make the live stream tonight, and they have sent me some stuff. I'm going to do a couple of theirs too as well. And Alonzo, I see you. I just saw your question pop up. I'll get to it. And I'm not crazy, guys. I have a couple screens in there. So I was like, what the hell is he looking at? I always like to look at some problem areas that, people come into contact with. So you guys can avoid the mistakes. Here's one. Okay. Let me see if I can, if I'm even able to. Yeah, I am. Almost there, guys. But this was a really, really a big problem with a lot of people this week. All right. All right, let me see if this will all fit. And it does not. Nobody type anything for a sec. So we can have the whole question presented. Okay, everybody should be able to see that. Now, what this says, and a lot of people have a problem with this, so I'll read it aloud and then I'll analyze this thing. Okay, newly hired nurses have to buy duty shoes for the full price of $84.50, $84.50. But nurses who have served at least a year get a 15% discount. Nurses that have served at least 3 years get an additional 10% off the discounted price. So how much does a nurse who has served at least 3 years have to pay for the shoes? Our answers are I'll just write them up top here. $63.78, $64.65, $67.49, $71.83, and $72.05. So A, B, C, D, E. All right, those are our answers. So a newly hired nurse has to buy duty shoes for the full price of $84.50. If you served a year, you get 15% off. If you serve 3 years at least as a nurse, you get additional 10% off. So how much does a nurse that has served at least 3 years have to pay? Now, what a lot of people lock in is on the numbers. They see 15% and they see 10%, right? And they say, okay, no, you know what? I'm just going to give them a 25% discount. That's wrong, wrong, wrong. All right. And I'll tell you why it's wrong. Because, all right, you have something called a successive discount. All right. A successive discount means we take a discount off the original price. And then that new price, we then take another discount off of that. And that is what's going on here. So if you just said, okay, I'm going to take 25% off, then that's a whole different ball game. And this is why I like to play with the number 100, because you can see it. All right. If I took 15% off, no, 25% off, I'm going to wind up with $75. If I take 25% off, all right. If I take successive discounts of 15 and 10, then what's going to happen is I'm going to take 15% off 100. And if I take 15% off of 100, I'm going to have $85. And then if I take let me see, 15% off. Then if I take an additional 10% off, then I'm going to subtract $8.50. So 85 minus 9 would be 76. And then we add the 50 back, plus 50. So 76.50. And then, so if we took just a total 25% off, we would have $75. If we take a successive 15% off, then an additional 10% off, then we will wind up with $76.50. All right. So this is very, very important. Now you say, okay, well, it's only $1.50 difference, and that's true. But I'll guarantee you they're going to have the answer for the guys that just do 25% off, and you're going to be wrong, wrong, wrong. So successive discounting. Now, I know that was like a little long and drawn out a little bit, but all right, our base price is $84.50. All right, so to speed this up, what I could do is I'm going to take this 15% off. I'm just going to multiply this by 0.85. And a lot of people say, well, why 0.85? Because 0.85 is 100 minus 15%. All right, and I hope everybody can see that. Now, when I do this, I'm going to get the exact number I'm looking for. So 5 times 0, 5, 2, 2. 8 times 0, 46, 4, 67. All right. Now, 0, 5, 2, 8, 11, 71. Let's hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. I'm going to say $71.83. $71.83. I rounded up since there was a 5 there. Okay, so this is the price after the 15% discount. Now we're going to take an additional 10 off. I'm going to multiply by 0.9. 0.9. Now, people are like, well, why are you doing that? Why don't you just find out what 10%, that's too much. If I multiply this by 0.9, it's going to tell me what 10% off is, because I'm multiplying this by 90.9 or 90%. 90% represents 10% off. All right, 2, 7, 4, 7, 16, 64. All right. And blah, 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 blah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So 64, 64, 7, which this is a 7, so it's going to round up to $64.65. All right. Now, I'm just going to grab a calculator, because I bet you they have that wrong answer. And this is what they do in the test. For the people that say, oh, I'm just going to take 25% off. All right. I'm going to a calculator now. 84.50 times 0.75 equals $63 and change. So a lot of people will come up with the A and select A, and A is not the right answer. B is the right answer. All right. So you guys have to be careful because they do design these tests for the people that cannot calculate numbers properly. And you do all this stuff and you get to say, hey man, that's my answer. That's my answer, man. I did it. And you didn't do it. You know. I had a guy, he took the SIFT like the first time before he met me. And he's like, man, you can tell me I didn't get wrong. I answer every math question. Well, just because you answered every math question does not mean you got them right. But the answer was there. Yes, they have answers. They build them into the test for miscalculations. So, you know, we have to be vigilant and make sure we're on top of our math game, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I had another one here. Okay. All right. All right. Alonzo, I see your question. This is, I don't really do heavy questions like this on a live stream. Number one is mechanical comprehension. A lot of the deep mechanical comprehension concepts I reserve for my clients. I will see you again, and hang on to this question. Hang on to this question. But yeah, this is it's not bad at all. Because, and you're kind of missing some information too, because I could see resistor 1, I could see resistor 2, but it does not give me its ohms. All right, and I don't know. I guess I'm not sure what they're asking either, because I don't see any wordage there. Wordage, is that a word? Wordage. I don't see any wordage. Yeah. So we'll explore this together. All right. Yeah. And I hope there's a question. I hope they're asking a question because all I see is a picture. So I don't know. Maybe they're just asking us like, okay, what is resistor 2? And that's probably what it is because I see 5 amps coming around in the circuit, or 0.5 amps coming around the circuit. So I'm sorry, guys. For client's eyes only, I gotta hold something back, you know. I know, what a jerk. What a jerk. Alrighty. This is a big one. People have been having issues with this one, and it came up actually 5 times. I was like, you know, when I saw it the 5th time, I was like, okay, this is a problem. All right, I'm going to present it to the board in a minute here. It's like, what am I doing, y'all? Okay. Here we go. Should be here. Okay. Okay, don't anybody type anything for a while. Okay, you can type after this. Okay, so the whole room can see this question now. The basal metabolic rate is the rate at which our bodies use calories. Means nothing as far as our problem solving goes. The BMR for a man in his 20s is about 1,700 calories per day. That wasn't the right question, but okay, I will still work this since I opened the gate. So the basal metabolic rate for his in his 20s is 1,700 calories per day. If 240 of those calories should come from protein, about what percentage of this man's diet should be protein? Okay, the BMR is the rate at which our bodies use calories. The BMR for a man in his 20s is 1,700 calories per day. All right, so 1,700 of these calories per day is what a guy in his 20s is supposed to use in the BMR, basal metabolic rate. So if 240's total calories should come from protein, about what percentage of this man's diet should be protein? All right. Alrighty. Here's what is already what your body just got a BMR for a minute, 2,700 calories, 240 calories should come from protein. Alright, so 204 of these 1,700 calories should be come from. Alright, so I see a proportion. What percent? Alright, so this is total calories. 204 should come from protein. We've made a proportion, so this times this times this divided by this equals this. Alright, so our answers are 1.2%, 8.3%, 12%, 16%, and 18%. Alright, this is basically from a formula that I use. Is over of is equal to X, the unknown percentage, over 100%. That's all it is. It's just a proportion. So 240 calories should come from protein, from a total of 1,700 of the total calories given in the question. So this times this divided by this equals this. Anytime you're multiplying something by 100, it's just going to gain two zeros. 20400. So 204 times 100 is 2400. Then what we're supposed to do is divide by 1,700. But anybody that knows me knows that I am going to kill an equal number of zeros in the question, bring the new numbers down, and I'm going to get the same answer. Dividing 20,400 by 1,700, I'm going to get the same answer dividing 204 by 17. And you can pause if that is an issue and you guys didn't get it. So there's a 1. All right. And here's a decimal here. All right. So I'm eliminating this guy, and bing, bang, bang. 12, 16, and 18% is what I'm going to come up with. So 1, 7, subtract 34. 17 times 2 is 28. No, what am I doing? 17, 34. All right, 2. All right, so 17 times 2 is 34, 34 is 0. So, boom, 12% is our answer, which is this guy. All right. So that was just setting up a proportion and killing it, or executing, not killing it. It's very bad. Okay, did everybody get that in the room, or at least half the room? Type clear if you got it. I will wait for the delay. And if you guys didn't get it, anybody in the room, stop me. I will recap it. But I want to get these problem questions out that I've been seeing all week, so you guys can see it and you guys know what to do when you see these type of questions. All right. Okay, that's good enough for me. As long as it's half the room. Okay. Alonzo, you're going to love this. And I'm even going to move a little slow for you to help me out with this. All right. Because you're a distance, rate, and time pro. He's like, oh, shit. And then I'll jump, I see your questions. Now, I am going to do a Google Hangout after this, but it's going to be short. It's not going to be a full hour, number one. What else did I want to say? Yeah, that's about it. I have a lot of things that are piling up on me that I need to take care of. So I will do a short Google Hangout if you guys are interested. And okay. Yeah, this was really like a problem for people. And when I saw it a bunch of times, I was like, okay. Okay. All right, so let's let's put some answers up here. Our answers. Anybody in the room, you can see the question. Okay, I have the answers coming up, guys. No worries. I gotta get like an assistant, man. Okay, so these are the answers. All right, so the question is as follows. A woman drives west at 45 miles per hour. After a half an hour, the man starts to follow her and must drive. How fast must he drive to catch her? 3 hours after he starts. Okay. So I'm going to go really, really slow. Alonzo, I want you to jump in. And I'm telling you, don't get up. Don't, just give me an answer. All right. So this woman, she drives westbound. DRT, distance equals rate times time. All right. She drives at 45 miles per hour. We're labeling that 45 mph. Distance is not indicated. All right. But 30 minutes later, a man follows her. Boom. It is DRT. So the question is asking, how fast must he drive to catch up to her 3 hours after he starts? So his time of movement is going to be 3 hours. All right. The rate is what we don't know. All right. So there's a question mark there. The first time, and everybody but Alonzo, because Alonzo's working on the question. People tell me in the room, how far, read the question, is right there. How long did this woman travel up to the point where she got caught. And okay, yeah. So her DRT. This is rating time. We want to know the woman's time. 3.5. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. A lot of people are like, 4.5 hours. I was like, what? No, 2.5 hours. I'm like, huh? I'm like, it's right there. Can't you see it? And this is why I always come back to diagram. Read line by line diagram. Line diagram. Line diagram. All right. So she's traveled 3.5 hours because the question says she started driving. Then a half hour later, the man caught her. So she travels a total of 3.5 hours. So now, when we have a delayed departure question, it is kind of like you have a rate and a time, or we're going to label this X. All right. So you have rate times time. Time equals rate times time. All right. If the woman starts driving and the man catches her 3 hours later, wouldn't it mean that they traveled the same distance? All right. And he put an answer up. Oh, he's a brave soul. That ain't it, man. I'm messing with you. I don't know yet. All right. So 3x is equal to, let's see here, 45 times 3.5. All right. So rate times time is 3x, and the rate times time. They've traveled the same distance. So the only thing that we're looking for is this guy's rate, because it's asking how fast, I believe it said, how fast must he drive in order to catch her. So that's all in there. So 45 times 3.5, 5, 2, 2, 2, filler 0, 15, 12, 13, 1 decimal point, 5, 7, 5, 1, 1 decimal. 157.5, 157.5. The 3x comes down. We have to divide this 157.5 by 3. And you know what? Since TJ helped us out, let's see if his answer is right. If x is 52.5, then I only need to multiply this by 3, and I should come up with 157.5. 15, 6, 7, 5. Bang! You got it right, buddy. You got it right. Yeah, we were working with them with these distance, rate, and time, and I'm happy that you nailed it. And I even put you under a little pressure. And look at you, you got the right answer, 52.5. However, Leon, thank you. You did get 52.5, but TJ Harrison, he put it out there first. So yeah, man. All right. We're pretty much at the end. Well, let me see. Okay, that was the same. Yeah, that was the same question. All right, okay. So yeah, everybody that presented questions in the live stream, they did get their answers, the questions answered. Okay, guys, this is the end. So listen, I couldn't think of a better resource than me. And I'm like, look, I know I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, look, if I had taken the ASVAB, I failed it. The AFOQT, the SIF, the OAR, the ASTB. You got a guy here that solves questions every week. Every week. I might come in at 9:30, if I have some stuff going on. But I'm here every week. This live stream is free. All you have to do is take a picture. Take your book. Take a picture. Any book. I don't know. And take your smartphone. Boom. Come to your problem. Just send to kenotoms@gmail.com. Even if you can't come to the live stream, just send a question to me. On Friday. Don't send it to me Tuesday. Because I get so many emails, it's like I'm not going to remember to go back. Hold off till Friday. And I will solve it. Okay? Do I know every problem? No, I don't know every problem, but I know about 99, 98, 90, 99, 98% of them. So that's a lot better odds than most people. And if I can't find the answer right then and there, I don't bullshit you. I just be like, look, I need to do some research on it. Because no, I'm not going to solve every question in the world. No. But like I said, 98, 99%, I'm pretty good at math. I'm just saying. It just is. Because I love math. I love doing math, and I love tough questions. So, that being said, all military aptitude tests, all Federal Aviation Administration tests concerning pilots, private pilot all the way up to airline transport pilot. I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. I will see you guys next week. If you are interested in a Google Hangout and you are a client of mine and you've done at least 2 hours this week with me, please send me the email. But that's really about it. I'll see you next Friday. And this is the point of the part where I give you the finger. Uh-oh, I came back. All right, I did not mean to come back. Finger.